Alright team, my name is John Denton, if you didn't already know, and I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about this Freddie Gibbs DJ AKADEMIKS situation that's been going on. It was actually going on when I was asleep, being that I'm here in England. Obviously there's been a bit of back and forth, with Freddie Gibbs talking in an interview about how Jeezy is no longer relevant, and DJ AKADEMIKS picking up on that and saying that Freddie Gibbs is irrelevant, and then there's a whole back and forth on social media. Basically Freddie Gibbs kind of destroying DJ AKADEMIKS, but DJ AKADEMIKS, not a stupid guy, knows exactly what he's doing by kind of creating more mythos around it, creating more anger, creating more drama. He doesn't mind if he gets negative comments coming his way because he knows that's how he builds his own brand. But the wider picture here, I think, is one of legacy versus clout and what is ultimately more valuable, and that's what I wanted to talk about just for a few minutes. I put out a tweet and I put it up on screen now because it came to me actually while I was listening to another album, and yeah, Freddie Gibbs as an artist is undoubtedly right now creating legacy. I think there's been no dispute of his ability for a long time, even before I was reacting to music, but right now in the last 12 months we've had Bandana and we've had Alfredo and Fetty, which three like almost 10 out of 10 records, and he's going to go on to create more records of this caliber. And because of that, the legacy that he's leaving for himself, the legacy that he's creating for himself, is going to be something that's spoken about for years and years and years. And as more fans get into his music and more people of influence speak about him and his music, he's only going to get more valuable. And what I mean by value, and I will talk about clout in a minute, what I mean by value, yeah, he will make money. He's already made money. I believe he's just signed to Warner as well, major label deal. So there's no question about the guy's financials, even though the whole Twitter back and forth was kind of about that. That stuff's not massively interesting to me. But what's more interesting is that, you know, Freddie Gibbs is no starving artist, don't get me wrong. But yes, he's not going to do the numbers of somebody like a Tekashi 6ix9ine right now if they were to go head to head, releasing a track, releasing a video, even releasing an album. But what does that actually mean? That might put more money into Tekashi 6ix9ine's pocket in the short term. But what do you have to sell in yourself to get that sort of clout these days? What do you have to sell? What sort of emptiness do you have to have in your heart to get to that level? And that can also be applied to someone like DJ AKADEMIKS. Listen, I don't know the man, obviously, but this type of clout culture, this type of sort of negative clickbaiting culture can create a brand. We've seen it time and time again. The big example over in the UK is Katie Hopkins, if you know that is, you know, a vile woman who's created a whole brand around the kind of right-wing racist thing, and she's recently got deplatformed on Twitter, but she's still massive and makes money just by being controversial. I don't even know if she believes a lot of the things that she says, but she doesn't care because she knows how to create chaos. She knows how to create carnage on social media, and that brings her money. Honestly, it shouldn't do, but it does. Now, AKADEMIKS isn't creating any sort of controversy on that level, nothing of that level of nastiness. So to compare the two is unfair, but at the same time, he understands the power of clout. He understands the power of negative social media reaction, and he's built a brand around that. And like, from a business point of view, I don't have a problem with that. From a kind of soul and moral and spiritual point of view, I'm not a religious person, but the kind of spirit inside you, I have a problem with that, just because I think it's just an empty way to live your life, honestly. And to bring somebody else recently who's been spoken about a lot recently, Keemstar. Okay, you're building a brand. Okay, you've got a lot of money now, probably. But what's the cost? Truly, what's the cost? What's the cost to your happiness? You can say what you want, you can preach what you want on camera, but what's the true cost to your happiness deep down? As opposed to a Freddie Gibbs, as he creates these legacy records, as he creates an Alfredo with AKADEMIKS, as he creates a Bandana with Madlib, he can sit back in the knowledge that he has put his best foot forward the whole time in creating music that will last forever. That's not to say it's a guaranteed form of happiness, and I know Freddie's had his dramas in his life as well, but at the same time, from a career point of view, he gets to sit back and, like I say, no starving artist. These are successful records, and he's just signed a major label, signed with a major, so he's no starving artist. He gets to create music and sit back and go, not only do I have fans, not only do I have music that is getting amazing critical praise from media and reaction people and all sorts of stuff like that, but I know in my heart, talking as Freddie here, that I am making stuff that matters. And that's something that will win almost all arguments. And interestingly enough, in the situation that we live in now, in the social situation that we live in now, in the media world that we live in now, creating that sort of fan base, that sort of core fan base that really, really sticks to every word, that will listen to all your records, that aren't necessarily the fan base that are going to casually jump in and out something because it's clout, because it's what's happening at the moment, because it's exciting. Listen, I'm going to listen to 6ix9ine's music, but I'm not going to, like, when it comes out, I mean, I'm not going to sit there and listen to it in my own time beyond that. I'm going to see what's going on. We all are. They're the same numbers. That same view for 6ix9ine once is the same view for me listening to Fetty once. It still counts as a 1, but they're not the same. Trust me, they're not the same. Just go on the Twitter threads now. How many people are posting links to Freddie's merch? Expensive hoodies, nice stuff. How many people are buying that merch just because of that? How much financial legacy is he creating just through this? Like, for all the people that will listen to his music for free and enjoy it through streams, YouTube, whatever, there will be a portion of his audience as well that will spend big money on vinyls, on special collector's editions, on merch, on ticket sales when that sort of stuff can happen again, meet and greets, where if he's doing all that sort of stuff. That will comfortably pay for the rest of it. Add in label deals and all that sort of stuff. So financially, he's not got any sort of issue, but he gets to make that money with a kind of purity being an ironic word when it comes to Freddie Kane. And that's something I definitely subscribe to as a creative, obviously not a musician, but somebody who now creates YouTube videos, in the past magazines. Yes, ideally you want to be somebody who can kind of tread between the two of creating legacy while having massive success. Obviously Drake, I think, is an amazing example of that. Yes, Drake makes some forgettable music, but at the same time I don't think anyone can question his legacy over the last 10 years. He has a body of work which can be held up to the highest standard. Even some of his, even plenty of his newer music, even Dark Lane demo tapes, has tracks on it, Chicago Freestyle for example, which are tremendous legacy work. And he has a Tootsie Slide as well, which will come and go. It will come and go. I think he straddles that line pretty much about as successfully as anybody in the game, but it's way too easy these days with the right backing behind you to go very, very, very big, very, very, very quickly, and then disappear into irrelevancy. J. Cole talked about it with Lil Pump, and look, where's Lil Pump now? Yes, he'll make money for a while, but what does that really mean? Maybe that's all that matters. But if you're an artist, a true artist, I think it means more than that. I really do. That's why I just, true clickbait, true mainstream, just hacking, true growth hacking, it works. It definitely works. It will make people money. It will make people big. And you can use that and then try and create legacy after them. You can. There's no right or wrong way. But in this argument, I think it's an easy victory for Freddie Gibbs, because not only did he destroy him on social media by just being funny and clever, although I think AKADEMIKS will happily play a punching bag because it will just bring more attention and more eyeballs onto him. I think he's smart like that. Trust, you don't get to 1.2 million Twitter followers. You don't get to all his huge amounts of clout by being stupid. He knows exactly what he's doing, and he will be that punching bag in this Twitter feud just to get more clout. But ultimately, when they go to sleep at night, who would you rather be? And I'll leave it there. Guys, let me know if you want me to just chat about topics like this more often down in the comments, and let me know your thoughts on the situation down in the comments. This isn't one for putting your reaction requests, but I probably won't see them down in the comments in this one. I just want to know, I want to do more videos where I'm just chatting to the camera, more stuff along this line coming soon as well. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on all of this. Sometimes it's just good to chat, innit? Alright, I'm John Denton. Subscribe to the channel, follow on socials. I'll catch you on the next one, alright? Peace!